Prince Alistair was the picture of health, athletic, lively, and beloved by all. So when the royal physician declared his sudden death from a fever, the kingdom was stunned. Yet, a troubling detail lingered: the prince's favorite meal, untouched on his plate. Why would a man in good spirits refuse his favorite dinner? The official story was a sudden illness, but the queen refused to accept it. She recalled his excitement that very morning, his plans for the festival, his energy. The silence from his chambers that night was uncharacteristic and unsettling. The queen's doubts grew, especially as the court tried to quiet her concerns. The untouched plate became a silent witness, a detail that didn't fit. It was a loose thread in the palace's tidy narrative. The queen's insistence on the truth set the stage for a deeper investigation. The story of a simple fever was beginning to unravel. Something far darker was hidden beneath the surface. The queen, desperate for answers, summoned Monsieur Jean-Pierre Dubois, a discreet investigator from the continent. He arrived quietly, posing as a distant cousin, blending into the palace routine. Dubois observed, listened, and took mental notes, unnoticed by most. His first act was a private audience with the queen, who recounted her son's vigor and the mystery of the untouched meal. Dubois' questions were precise. Media group. Investigator asking questions at formal dining room. Man interviewing palace staff in kitchen. You stock or distribute equally. Who prepared the meal? Who served it? Who was present? Afterward, he inspected the prince's chambers. Everything in place, nothing obvious amiss. He noted the open book, the polished boots, the view of the gardens. Dubois wasn't searching for a weapon, but for something out of place. The investigation had begun, quietly, beneath the surface of royal grief. The palace, unaware, was now under the gaze of a master observer. The first cracks in the official story had appeared. Dubois was determined to find what everyone else had missed. Dubois began with the palace staff, cooks, servers, chambermaids. He listened to their stories of the prince's kindness, finding no obvious enemies. Appearances, he knew, could deceive. He moved on to the royal court, the somber Duke of Blackwood, the grieving Lady Annalise, and the anxious royal physician, Dr. Arras. The Duke mourned the prince's loss. Lady Annalise wept for her lost love. Dr. Arras, however, was nervous, quick to defend his diagnosis of a natural death. When Dubois mentioned the untouched meal, the doctor grew defensive. Dubois noted every reaction, every inconsistency. No one confessed to unusual behavior. The fever story held. Yet, the investigator sensed gaps, pieces that didn't fit. The staff's affection, the court's grief, the doctor's anxiety, all were pieces of a larger puzzle. Dubois' unease grew. The truth, he suspected, was buried beneath layers of polite sorrow. The investigation pressed on, searching for the missing link. The palace's calm was only a mask. Dubois was determined to see what lay beneath. In the palace gardens, Dubois found a nervous stable boy, Thomas. After gentle conversation, Thomas revealed he'd seen something odd the night the prince died. From the stables, he saw the Duke of Blackwood meeting someone in the shadows near the kitchen path. The Duke handed over a small, dark bottle to the other figure, who then hurried toward the kitchens. The Duke lingered, then left in the opposite direction. Thomas, frightened, had told no one, until now. Dubois reassured him and recognized the significance: a secret meeting, a mysterious bottle, a new lead. For the first time, the investigation pointed to deliberate action, not accident. The stable boy's courage gave Dubois a direction. The puzzle was darker, but clearer. Dubois now had a thread to follow. The Duke's involvement was no longer just rumor. The kitchens, the bottle, and the Duke's secret meeting became the focus. The investigation had found its first real clue. The truth was closer than ever. Dubois recalled the Queen's mention of a missing gold locket, a family heirloom the prince always wore. After his death, it was nowhere to be found. The staff searched, but it had vanished. Dubois wondered, why would the prince remove it, or who would take it? He searched the prince's chambers and the laundry. Nothing. Only a few had entered the room after the prince's death. Dr. Eris, the chamberlains, and the queen. Dubois suspected the locket's disappearance was no accident. He questioned Lady Annalise, who described the locket gold with the royal crest and portraits of the queen and herself inside. The locket's sentimental value was immense, but its absence now seemed suspicious. Why remove Lady Annalise's portrait? Dubois sensed the locket was more than a keepsake. It was a clue. The missing locket became central to the case. Someone wanted it hidden. The investigation's focus sharpened. The locket's secret was about to be revealed. The locket's disappearance and Dr. Eris's nervousness drew Dubois to the physician's study. Under the pretense of a minor illness, Dubois observed the cluttered room. On the desk, a velvet-lined box caught his eye. When Dubois remarked on it, Dr. Eris grew flustered and tried to hide it. Behind some books, Dubois spotted a small dark bottle, matching the stable boy's description. Later, with the doctor called away, Dubois searched the study. Inside the velvet box was the prince's missing locket. He opened it. The queen's portrait remained, but Lady Annalise's was gone. The tiny portrait had been removed. The bottle and the locket, both hidden by the doctor, were now in Dubois' hands. The evidence pointed to a conspiracy. The investigation had reached a turning point. The truth was within reach. Dubois prepared to confront those involved. The final act was about to begin. Dubois gathered the Queen, the Duke, Lady Annalise, and Dr. Eris for a private confrontation. The room was tense. The Duke stoic, Lady Annalise anxious, Dr. Eris trembling. Dubois laid out the facts: the untouched meal, the missing locket, the secret meeting, and the dark bottle. He revealed the bottle contained a rare poison, mimicking a sudden fever. Turning to Dr. Eris, Dubois presented the locket and asked about the missing portrait. Under pressure, the doctor confessed. He'd been paid to declare the death natural, given the locket as partial payment, and told to destroy Lady Annalise's portrait. All eyes turned to the Duke, who had the most to gain. But Dubois addressed Lady Annalise, asking why her portrait had to be removed. The room fell silent. The conspiracy was exposed. The Duke's ambition, the doctor's complicity, and Lady Annalise's secret. The evidence was undeniable. The truth, at last, was in the open. The prince's death was no accident. The palace's darkest secrets had been revealed. Justice was about to be served. The queen's suspicions were vindicated. Dubois had unraveled the web of deceit. The case was nearly closed. Lady Annalise broke down, her tears now those of guilt and fear. Dubois explained, her story never quite fit. She knew little of the prince's life. The stable boy had seen her, not a man, meeting the Duke in the garden. The Duke, her secret lover, wanted the throne. Lady Annalise wanted to be his queen. The plan poisoned the prince's wine at dinner. But the prince, suspicious, refused to eat or drink. In a desperate struggle, Lady Annalise scratched him with a poisoned pin. The poison worked quickly. The prince died soon after. Lady Annalise fled, taking the locket to remove her portrait, proof of her involvement. She gave the locket to Dr. Eris as payment for his silence. The Duke's ambition and Lady Annalise's betrayal had led to murder. The truth was out, a conspiracy of love and power. The prince's death was no accident, but a calculated crime. The queen's grief was justified. Dubois had solved the mystery. The kingdom would never be the same. Justice would follow. The story had reached its tragic end. Lady Annalise and the Duke confessed, shocking the kingdom. Justice was served. The truth replaced the lie of a sudden fever. The queen mourned anew, but with answers. Dubois, his work done, left quietly, seeking no reward. He had pieced together the truth from whispers and hidden clues. For Dubois, the satisfaction was in solving the puzzle. The prince's story became a cautionary tale. Evil can wear a beautiful mask, but truth, no matter how deeply buried, can be uncovered. The world is full of mysteries, waiting for someone to look closer. The next great secret may be just around the corner.